Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome for this panel about 100% made by AI and quantum drug candidate, dream or reality. I think we can go directly about the first question. Is it really possible? Is it not science fiction? Can we do already drugs and drugs candidate with AI, but also with quantum computers? Who wants to start?
I guess I'll start. We believe so. So we are White Lab Genomics. We develop an AI platform and that we operate to create new genomic medicine. So medicine that are going to be using DNA, RNA to treat patients. And I guess myself and my team who is here over there, we believe every day, we work every day to make this a reality. But maybe to give a more concrete example, there are already AI-guided small molecules that have been developed and are in clinical phase. So it's a reality for the field of small molecules, and there is no reason why it won't happen in terms of genomic medicine. We've also seen what Moderna performed to create a vaccine in record time, which was not feasible before, and that was thanks to computational power. So I think we're here today.
Okay. Robert, maybe you can explain how you do at Qubit Pharmaceuticals. You have a different way to do that?
Sure. So as David just mentioned, at Qubit Pharmaceuticals, we develop small molecules, so drugs that you usually take as pills. And to do so, we do use a computational drug discovery platform that leverages AI, of course, but also exploration of quantum computing to accelerate the discovery of drugs. Of course, the title was made so that it was a bit provocative and that everyone was here. I'm never a big fan of the oversimplification, so everything was done by only one technique. Drug discovery is the conjunction of many, many different expertise factors evolving over the different stage, from the discovery to development. You need to identify a target, you need to address the targets, find starting points where the small molecule cells, etc., optimize them, test them into animal models, then bring them to patient, make sure that you recruit the right cohort, that you know exactly what you will be looking for. So there are many, many different factors and expertise that are involved into drug discovery. Up to following your patient once it's on the market, making sure that they follow the treatment, that they take the right drugs. So AI and quantum are new computational means that will accelerate some phases, some problems that we face during these many different phases. Of course, they are not alone, so they need to be optimized and working well with the other part of drug discovery. Quantum today, unfortunately, is not ready for production, so there are lots of developments every day. You can check out the news, there are new breakthroughs in science, in engineering, in development. It's not there for production, probably in 3 to 5 years, but as AI, it promises to have major impact in drug discovery.
Bernard, maybe you can explain also how you do that in Sanofi. What is your pattern actually?
Let's just perhaps recall how is it something very new for any pharmaceutical laboratory. If you just recall what we traditionally made, we start from the disease and the symptoms, try to cure or treat the symptoms. Then we deep dive to the root cause of the disease and we try either cure or treat this disease. And now, what is very new for any lab, any big lab, is we are not discovering a molecule starting for the disease. We have a molecule that have properties that could have some different, let's say, impacts on the global body. And then we have to start with this molecule and say, okay, look, what are the different, let's say, mechanisms involved, and is there some disease that use this mechanism, and this molecule perhaps could have an impact on it. Is it a treatment? Is it only to cure? We don't know. And this is why these kind of new actors are very helpful for us because imagine this coming from a molecule, not from a disease, open wide possibilities. But it's a breakthrough for such a company because we have SGPs that are, let's say, specialized on one disease or one topic, for example, one therapeutic area, oncology, heart disease, diabetes, for example. And you are not, let's say, leveraging this expertise. You are starting from the end. What is the end? And this is why this panel is very, let's say, representing the full stack of the future. Because you have the ones that leverage AI and the already available data, but not for now computed, with, let's say, the hardware that helps to compute. And then you have the big pharma that will take the drug, see if we can make a treatment, make this treatment, and put it on the market. And this is here, the full stack. But what we'll miss for the moment, for example, at the big pharma, is this layer that take the drug, or let's say the candidate drug, and see on what kind of therapeutic area we could use it. Because we are silhouetted by the, let's say, the therapeutic areas. That's why there's some layer that is missing, for example, but let's say the reality is starting, and that's why we are, let's say, moving step by step, and we are already Sanofi partner with White Lab Genomics, with other ones, with such startups as Okin, just to gather the existing data already computed to find perhaps new correlations in the process of drug molecules to treatment. We have to use AI either for the, let's say, interdependence, targeting the good patient cohort, and there's already a speech about that. This is where AI can apply and help us to minimize the timelines between the molecule and the treatment in the market. And it's a huge breakthrough, not already a reality, a start of a reality, but it's not a dream.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Christian, you build quantum computers with cold atoms. It's one of the 6 technologies that we have in France, actually. How you work with the health tech part, and do you have already partnerships and starting project about quantum computing and algorithms?
Yes, thank you. So. As you mentioned, indeed, Pascal is building neutral atoms or cold atoms-based quantum computer. Also, our approach is what we call an analog quantum computing, or equivalently a quantum simulator, as it is known in the domain. It's a simulator in a sense that it is in line with Feynman's, so the father of quantum computing's vision of what a quantum computer should be doing. Because a quantum computer is essentially a device that provides a more natural language to describe molecular or subatomic interactions. So this is sort of a long-term promise for quantum computing in general, to be able to tackle these kind of molecular simulations in a more efficient way. However, as Robert has already mentioned, the reality is that the technology is still maturing, so it's not there in terms of the level of the size of the data that we can exploit. However, our focus in the short term is more on the complexity side. So in terms of AI, what has been observed is adding a quantum layer or a quantum component to existing machine learning methods or neural network type methods can enhance the expressibility of the data. So it's more thinking about how to exploit the existing technology than trying to project for the future or for the long-term objectives. What is the reality of quantum? And for this, indeed, Pascal is working with collaborators. So we have a full stack approach for quantum computing, not only building the technology, but also creating software solutions and applications to benefit from the technology as of today. For instance, we are collaborating together with Qubit Pharmaceuticals to investigate what we call protein hydration, to be able to use probabilistic methods to determine where water molecules could be within a protein, because as we know, the presence of a water molecule can enhance or inhibit the interaction between the drug, so a ligand, with the target protein.
Thank you. One other question I think is really important. It's when you use AI or quantum solution to elaborate these new drugs, what is the scientific validity about that? How you can transform that with real drugs candidate? Yeah, what is the methodology behind that? Maybe Bernard?
I would say if you recall the, let's say, fundamental purpose of AI, it's, let's say, to make categorization. Then you have a lot of data. You have to find the data, gather the data, cure the data, and then you put a lot of different algorithms to make categorization. And then what will be really the, let's say, the partnering between Sanofi, companies like Sanofi, and startups like White Lab Genomics, is then we will move into the field that, okay, we have a candidate, seems to be a good one, and then we will use our medical forces to put it in the medical field. And perhaps one day we could have a very promising molecule, and we will see that we could not synthesize it very easily, and perhaps it could not be, let's say, become a treatment, but it could be too costly, for example. That's the thing that we will discover when we will, let's say, start from the silico to the reality. That's why I was saying that we have the full stack, because at one moment, this molecule have to become a treatment. And this is part of what, let's say, a pharmaceutical company makes for decades. This is this part, and this part have a value, but we do need such startup, such, let's say, breakthrough thinker bringing to us new molecules, because it's hard to find a molecule, and we will save time and we will, let's say, enhance the global opportunities.
Maybe Robert, if you want to.
So in drug discovery, there's the ground truth. So eventually you are going to test your molecules into relevant assays, whether in vitro, in vivo, and then clinical trials. So whatever we do will be synthesized, tested, and experiments will tell us if it was right or not. This will generate novel data that will fuel our models, together with synthetic data that we can build or generate thanks to physics-based models. So it's very important to be sure that you are able to create diverse sources of data so that you can generate a large database to then improve your models and accelerate the discovery or improve the discovery, because it's not only about time, it can be about chemical diversity when you are working on a target where all known chemical series failed and so on. So it's always making sure that you connect different technologies, different expertise, whether in silico or reality, wet lab technologies, can be robotics, in order to generate enough data so that your models will be improving, outperforming what can be done without them.
Yes, and maybe to build up on the scientific and clinical validation, we mentioned a bit earlier this collaboration we have with Sanofi in a consortium, 80 million euros consortium called WIDGET, that includes also expertise, clinical expertise with University of Nantes and Institut Imagine to create drugs to treat the age-related macular degeneration and kidney disease, rare disease. So that's, and with what Robert was mentioning, you go from the in silico to the in vitro and in vivo, and then the clinical phases. So you have to, you're embedded into the reality of how to cure a disease. And what's new in the industry is that the in silico and the AI-powered solutions are better and better every day, and computing power is today available to make this a reality.
Thank you. Christian, one of the challenges is to create new partnerships. It's a new technology. How you can find partners to work with you and promote your quantum computers actually?
For partnerships, I would say there are multiple ways to go about it. There are various national and European programs that facilitate these sort of interactions between new emerging technologies such as quantum and industrial actors to be able to bring them closer. There are different associations. For instance, here in France, the Lab Quantique is one of the big facilitators of bringing closer these more academic, these more technological industries and with real world like healthcare or energy industry actors. So I would say that is the main entry point for us, since as a quantum company, we are not necessarily domain experts. We are ready to learn and we are ready to bring our expertise, but still being able to identify what's the key bottleneck in a specific use case, a specific problem. We do need partners and collaborators to help out. So it's really, the accent should be on the partnerships.
Okay. And Bernard, for big labs, how it's this change for you? You improve your teams and you recruit, or you create partnerships with startups. How it works for to create new drugs?
I think that we act very cautiously, and that's why, let's say, we have internal resources, internal capacities, and we try to partner with different startups, try to scout it. That's why we build with some partners Future for Care, for example, because it's a way to have a look on what happens. And traditionally, you know, big companies are, let's say, it's big tankers, and it's hard to, let's say, to make them move. But we are, let's say, listening and looking at what happens and try to pick the, let's say, the good cherish. Let's say, because we perform things internal, and we try to get the good technology when it seems to be mature enough. And for, let's say, quantic computing, let's say the promise is to, let's say, to move to 2 dimensions, let's say, to 3 dimensions. That means, yes, it's a huge opportunity, not completely mature for the moment, but yes, at one moment we will enhance, and we started to enhance and reskill, upskill the people in the company on AI. It's one of the major vision of our CEO, is to be really leveraging AI at scale, because it's a huge opportunity for a pharma company, but we will still stay and stick to our, let's say, traditional business, that is to take the molecule and go to the treatment in vitro, in vivo, and so on and so forth, because we have a lot of skills and people in this field. That's why it's a huge asset for us.
Mm-hmm. David, can you talk about your collaboration, how it works with Sanofi on this?
Yeah, so we are at Future for Care, and it enables actually large companies to identify potential partners, startups, and so we have this partnership, as I mentioned earlier, with Sanofi, the Imagine Institute, and the University of Nantes, and we are the AI solution for this drug development. It's aligned with Paul Hudson's vision of having Sanofi take the turn of AI full on, and so we are absolutely thrilled to partner with such a great company like Sanofi.
Okay, Robert, what is the future possibilities? What we can see in the future, the new perspective?
As David mentioned at the beginning of the session, so today about 10% of the small molecules in clinical trials were at one point discovered thanks to AI technologies. So it's not a future revolution, it's already there, it's already 10%. This is only going to increase, so I don't see why we won't be in a stage in 5 years of time where any molecules will be discovered at one point thanks to an AI-driven step. We also see a massive revolution in computing power. So last week there was an event here by Scaleway and NVIDIA discussing new opportunities, new computing power has been installed. So we see a convergence of having more and more computing resources, novel AI tools. Quantum computing will arrive also in 5 years of time. So we are going to see an increase in simulation, generation of novel drugs thanks to these computational tools, the same way as we saw in other industries such as aerospace, automotive, and so on. Today, you wouldn't enter into a plane that wasn't designed on a computer, but you wouldn't take a pill that was fully designed on a computer before going on through the full testing. So probably in 5 to 10 years, or maybe 20 years of time, we'll be in that same paradigm. Nobody will take a pill that wasn't designed thanks to a computer.
Maybe to conclude, Christian, when it's important to start in quantum technology and to develop molecules or anything, or algorithms with your computer?
So the easy reply is now. So the reality is that quantum computing is coming. So to some extent, it's already there. There are some early examples of different collaborations of almost industrial use cases in which you can see the benefit of quantum technology. And as Robert mentioned, the timeline for like proper industrial case solution is a couple of years. Maybe not 5, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. There is some uncertainty, but the fact is that it is something that is approaching, and it takes some time to sort of get the hand of it, to be able to master this new type of computational paradigm, because it's a fundamentally different from what we are used to. So it is important to start early, to start investigation, experimentation, to sort of get the idea of what could be a potential use case in 1 year, in 2 years' time, or what could be a potential use case in a couple of months already.
Thank you very much. It's time to conclude this round table. I can invite you to, if you are interested, to see what are the new tools, sovereign tools in the cloud to access to quantum computing next week in the OVH Cloud Summit next Tuesday. It's free. You can pick your ticket today. And thank you very much for my panelists. It was really interesting, and we have so much question for you, but it's after. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.